Hi friends, hope you're all doing well. So today's topic on my channel is creating Git repository on Azure Devops. So we usually developers write a lot of code and we need to maintain and version this code base. So how we achieve that? We will do it by pushing this code into a code repository. There are many tools available to manage and store your code. Some examples are Git, Microsoft Team Foundation Services version control, Tortoise subversion, and there are many other. Okay, so let's start with creating Git repository on Azure DevOps. So let me log into my Azure DevOps portal. I'm picking my account. Let's enter the password. So this should log me into my DevOps portal. That's great. So this is the Azure DevOps portal, and in the side navigation bar, we can see that what all available services to a team. Today's topic is related to creating a repository. So I will go into the repos item. So this is how the repo section looks like. Okay, it will keep showing what is the current repository that I have created in my repos of this Azure DevOps project. Okay, so let's go ahead and create a new repository. So how do we create that? Simple guys, just go to this drop down and here you can see that create a new repository. Click on that. So create a repository pop-up emerges. Well, there are two types. TFVC, that is Microsoft's Team Foundation Version Control System, and another one is the Git. Let's go with Git and give some repository name. Usually this should be your project name. So let's give a name like my project. Okay. Well, I would like to go with the default settings. Let's add a readme file and yes, add a .gitignore file. Basically helps us to have some default files which Git should ignore. So let's click on the create. That's it. We have successfully created a repository now. Well, what's the next step? We have to push some code base, right? We should have some code base that we have developed on our local machine and we need to push that into this DevOps Git repository. If you go to the repos section over here, the default selected item is files. So currently we don't have any files except this readme.md. If you see the history, yes, we have just created a repository. And what are the other things? You see the commits. Yes, that was the first commit we did. And you can see the commit ID. Branches. By default, a Git repository will provide a master branch. Remember, my dear friends, this is the branch which should contain the stable code. Okay, I will explain there are some good practices of creating branches and maintaining them. Usually, master is the branch which should contain the stable code or the code which is going to be released, which is bug free and well tested. Okay, and there are some other concepts. You can tag the repositories Currently, this repository has no tags and pull requests. One of the fascinating feature of Git is pull request. A pull request is nothing but simply initiating a merge request from your local branch to the, as I explained, to the main branch or the master branch from where you are going to make the releases. So basically, it's nothing but initializing a code review process by adding the approvers. I'll explain about this in a short. Okay. So that's what we have successfully created a repository my project. Now the next step is we will add some code to this repository's master branch. Guys, so let's go with that step. Let's open Visual Studio. There's another approach that we can use is let's click on the clone button over here. So as you can see the HTTPS URL for the clone, the Git repository. Okay. And there is an option to select the IDE of your choice to start the cloning process. So what I will do is I will select Visual Studio from the drop down. Okay. And see the message, guys. This site is trying to open Microsoft Visual Studio. Okay. So say open. Well, we are asked for the authentication. So let's log in into our Azure Devops account. Password. That's it. Now, Azure DevOps is showing a pop-up saying that we are cloning from the Azure DevOps project. Okay, and the project's name is Weather Systems, and the repository name is My Project. And the remote path has been specified. This is the repository clone URL and the local path where I would like to download this repository. Let me choose a custom location, or we can go with the default location also. So folder, my project, dash repo. I'll select this folder and there are two options provided. Clone with submodules. So let's go with clone. Well, I have been asked for the authentication once again. So let's pick my account. Well, Studio has successfully cloned our my project repository. As you can see, my project repo, that's my local repository or the folder name, and then the master branch has been checked out automatically. Remember guys, when we create a repository will be created with the default branch that's called master. That's why I'm able to see master and see what we have in the master. Nothing, just a readme.md file. So let's add some content to this repository. Okay, let's create a ASP.NET AMUC project. File, new project. Super. So let's create a ASP.NET Core web app. Next. So I would like to keep it in my repository. So what I will do is I'll go to the location of my repository folder. So it would be in save and my project repo. Super. Okay. Let me choose this particular folder and let's create. I would like to go with the web application model view controller. Okay. So let's create it, creating the project. Super. The ASP.NET Core MVZ app has been created. And if we see the changes, my dear friends, see the changes are increasing. That means we are adding the new project files to our repositories. These are the uncommitted changes. Okay. So let me complete Visual Studio for loading this web application one project. Once it completes the loading, we can get the final count of files. So I guess it has completed. Super. So let me run and check. So I'm going to build the solution and build has been succeeded. So let me launch and check how it looks. Well, the application is up and running, so it's a working application, so that's what we want. So let's stop the running application and now go to the pending changes. All the changes we had made, all the changes have been added to this repository automatically. Okay. So we are in the master branch. Our master branch was empty, and just now we have created a project. So what I will do is I will keep this necessary files which are required for the application to up and running, and I will remove the binaries from here. Well, it has added the binary also, so let's we will change we will stage all the changes. That would be the better approach. So let me first stage the changes. Okay, the changes have been staged. Now we will get rid of the binary folder. Good. Yes. So let's unstage this bin folder contents. Gone. Then even I don't want this object folder or obj also, so I will make it unstaged. So basically, these 58 files are my source code related files which I want to push into the repository or into my master branch for the initial commit. Let's give a meaningful message. Let's say initial commit web app. Now, once that is done, we will push our changes. So there are three options: commit staged and push, commit staged and sync. A commit staged will simply commit into your local branch, that is the checked out branch is master which is on my machine. So change will be committed to my local branch, but the moment I say commit staged and push, the changes will be committed to my local branch and they will be pushed to the remote repositories master branch. Okay, so what we'll do, let's go with the approach of commit stage and push. Committing the changes, syncing. So it's pushing the current branch to the origin that's called master.
of my repository. Well, successfully pushed all the changes to origin slash master. So guys, if I go back to my portal, okay, now it's empty, right? Now once again, I will refresh and see what are the contents of my master branch. Click on branches, and now if you see the master has is having just now the last change just now a web application has been pushed to the master branch. Okay, now if you want to see the file contents, you can see the file contents over here. Well, my project is my repository, and this repository is currently containing these all changes. So this is my project which is being pushed to the master branch. So this is what I wanted to show you guys. This is how we create the repository and push our code changes to the master branch. Okay. Well, in my next video, I will let you know what are the best practices of creating branches from this master branch and a discipline of pushing the code development changes from those feature or development branch to this master branch. So thank you for listening, and I will meet you in the next session.